everyone and happy Monday. We have a lovely camel to do today for our planner page from Johanna Basford's planner. This is also from Worlds of Wonder. Now it's a lot simpler than sort of last week or some of our much more detailed pages, so it's quite a relief to me, maybe to you as well. We've got something a little bit easier. Now I'm just showing you this is my Chromaflow swatch chart. I'm going to be using my full set of Derwent Chromaflows today, and using this swatch chart is available on my Ko-fi shop, free, and also there are some comparison charts. I'm actually, I'll try and remember to put the links in the description. If I forget, pop it in the comments, I'll send you the link so that you can either colour with these or do an equivalent. So that's that. I'm just going to put it slightly out of shot. You don't really need it. So I think the best place to start with this chap is for the actual body of the camel. I'm not entirely sure what colour they are, to be honest, but I think I'm going to go with some of our sort of sandish colours. So I'm turning to the back. We've got like a Dijon. I think I'm going to start with the Dijon. Oh, I've just put these Chromaflows in a new pencil case. So here is the Dijon colour, and I'm just going to colour the whole of the camel in that. It's coming a little tad. There we go. And then that'll be our sort of starting base, really. Yeah, I've just ordered the new pencil case today. It was on my fundraiser sort of thing for my Ko-fi, and thanks to everyone, I'd got enough donations to be able to pay for it, so that was good. And I had like 2 days left of my free Amazon Prime trial that I signed up to because I was ordering something else and I wanted free postage. Can't remember what it was. I'll leave that middle of the ear, and this sort of main part, we'll do that in a different colour. So anyway, I thought I would get it while I could get free postage, because I think the postage is quite expensive. So that was good, and it means that I can use these much more, because the tin, I find I can cope with the 120 tin, the polychromos, those are still in their tin. But anything longer than that won't fit on my desk. In here it will, but next door where I do my sort of fun colouring rather than my video colouring, not this isn't fun, I mean colouring for me rather than for you, I suppose. Yeah, it wouldn't fit on my desk, so it was, I just wasn't going to be able to easily use them, and that obviously I was gifted these to use, and I wanted to use them, so I grabbed. So yes, I've now managed to grab a pencil case to put them in, and that's great. I got one of the cheaper cases. This is a Bitsky, BTSKY case. It's UPV purpley, pinky purple leather, but I just grabbed it because it was cheap and quick. Because I wanted to record this today, and I really wanted to get them in the case today, which I've just done. So that's brilliant. I quite like the there's another brand beginning with SCHUL something, I think, I can't remember. I like those a lot, but they don't keep them on UK Amazon, so you can order them on UK Amazon, but they're shipped from US Amazon, so they take a lot longer to arrive, and I just wanted this quickly, so I just grabbed it, and it's quite pretty, and it'll do the job, I'm sure. I don't really know why I prefer the other ones, to be honest, but no, it's just a thing, isn't it, you know, that we have a thing. But I've got plenty of other pencils that I really want to put in cases, but this was the most urgent one, and I was thinking, well, Christmas is coming, and ish, not really. And you know, you never know, might be able to ask for one for Christmas, but we'll see what happens. It doesn't matter, I'm managing very nicely, thank you very much. I'm in a bit of a mood today, a bad mood. I don't know, I think I'm hormonal, although at my age you can't tell, it's not regular hormones anymore. I feel like I'm just a bit stressed generally, just got that feeling, do you know what I mean? Ugh. And but also I'm sort of feeling like I want everywhere clean and tidy. You know, that whole sort of nesting thing that women sometimes get at certain times of the month. As I say, I don't think it's, you know, I'm too old for all that sort of thing. But anyway, so I feel like I want everywhere clean and tidy. And I was talking to my son about it this morning. He said, you know, that's just impossible, Mum. It's just, you can't do it. It's impossible. And I was like, just one room? You know, I've managed it with the kitchen almost. When we had the new kitchen, there's a cupboard for everything. Everything goes away. But there's still always an accumulation of things. I mean, salt and pepper's often left out and things like that. But that's fine. I can rectify that and tidy it up. But it's quite often a pile of newspapers which I can't do anything with because they haven't been read yet, and they've got to be read before they're moved and all that. And so it gets me down. And I was talking to my sister about it, and I was saying how my husband just doesn't understand. He has no empathy for that sort of thing because he likes clutter, he likes stuff around him, it makes him feel comfortable. He just cannot understand why I don't. He can't put himself in that position, if you know what I mean. It makes it quite difficult. I'm going to use some brown sugar, not actual brown sugar, just the colour. I don't have sugar. Brown sugar. And I'm going to put in some sort of shadowy areas, and then we're going to do the end of the tail, the mane and the ear in a darker colour, but until I know how dark we're going with the camel, I don't quite know how dark I'm doing those. So here, I'm going to have some shadow, of course, under here, where the legs are sort of overlapping. But also, if we put a little bit on the edge of the leg and then sort of scumble it in a bit, meaning that sort of little round and round movement like that, and do that all the way through. And a bit of shadow under these, I was going to say bandages. They're not, are they? They're just decorative, like ribbons or something. Like that. So we just do this sort of thing. We're going to come back in with the Dijon after and just tidy it all up. I find with Derwent pencils, they always need a little bit of blending / burnishing. Now, Derwent do a great blender and a great burnisher, so you can use those, but I find that layering up your colour a little bit more can also be an effective way of doing it. We'll see how they lay down on this paper, but you might be able to see, you know, we've got a bit of white paper showing through. And although there's nothing wrong with that, it's not the look I'm going for, so I'm going to put another layer down in a minute. But yes, so yeah, he was saying you'll never get tidy. I said, just, you know, he said, oh, when I leave home, you'll be able to just use my bedroom. I was like, no, because your dad's already said he wants that space for him. And my son's like, well, he can't just do that. I said, oh, no. I don't need a room that big. Really, I just want this room that I'm in now, which is our little tiny office. I was going to say it's the smallest room in the house, but it isn't. We have smaller bathrooms than this. Well, cloakroom is smaller than this. The bathroom isn't. This room is basically, you can fit a double bed in it, and then that's it. You can't shut the door. You know, so it's probably it's about the size of a bed with no other space. So if you come in and want to, I've put a bed in here before. It was a futon on the floor for someone to stay, and basically they had to walk on the bed to get in and out of the room, you know, or in and out of bed. It was just, there wasn't really enough room. But I don't need masses of room. What I just would like is, in here there are 1, 2 bookcases and a load of storage boxes and some pictures piled up and all sorts of things. I just like all that to disappear and me to just be able to have all my colouring stuff in here, only just my colouring stuff in here, and then I could just pop in here and get out what I want to use at my other desk when I want it, and just store it all in here and have a nice organised storage system, you know. But although I've got my nice new bookcase, which was great, it's full, and it's yeah, it's fine, it's good, but you know, I could do with a bit more space really. I've still got a trolley with art stuff on my desk, stuff in here, stuff in there. It's getting a bit messy. Right, I hope you can see I've sort of done the edges and little pieces. I haven't done any shadow under these actually. And then I'll grab that Dijon again and just do a little bit more. Some of it is a little bit better than others, so we'll see how it all goes. So start here. I just want to make sure that I've sort of covered up all of the white paper. Do have to be careful because this is quite a thick, they're quite pencils can go down quite thickly if you press quite hard, and then if I press over the outside bit, it covers up what I've done. Didn't put any on that one. So I have to try not to completely obliterate that edge bit that I put in by not colouring over it too much. Oops, police car going by. There were loads the other day. Couldn't work out what was going on. But we do live on a main road. Well, our house isn't on the main road, but we can hear them on the main road, so could be going anywhere really. In our town there's only 2 main roads in and out, and our road is one of them, and 2 different directions, so you know, you hear everything really, but that's okay. It's quite difficult colouring around these little circles. I'm not, you know, I've coloured over a few of them by mistake, so I shall have to choose a really vibrant colour for those that will sort of go over the top of that and we won't notice it, hopefully. I was going to do this one from Worlds of Wonder for as a video at one point, and then when I realised it was in this planner, I thought I'd just wait and do the planner. I can hear something clicking. Oh, I can see what it is. There. There's a pile of books on the edge of the desk from previous videos that I've been, well, video series I'm either in the middle of or whatever, and they're knocking against something. Yeah, it'd just be nice to have a little space where I could keep everything clean and tidy. Right, I'm going back to the brown sugar. I'm just doing a few areas, like here I don't think is quite shadowy enough there. And the tail, a little bit on the end, like that. Now I'm quite happy with how the camel looks now. So the darker colour for his tail, mane and things, I don't want to go too dark, so I think I'm going to use the spice. It's just a slightly darker, slightly more orangey colour, and I think it'll work. I mean, I don't, to be honest, know what colour they are. I think these are probably not quite so orange, but I rather like the warmth of it. So, and I'm just going to colour over this a bit, block it in, so it, you know, it's quite thick amount of colour. So I'm not pressing hard, but I'm going back and forth over what I'm doing a bit to make it a fairly decent covering. There we go. Such lovely colours in this set. Right, I'm just going to pop these pencils back. What I tend to do is, if I want to remember what I'm using, I will put them back in the case but leave them sticking out a little bit, and then when I come to finishing this video and writing up what colours I've used, they're there sticking out, so I'll know. I think, should we do the decorations on our camel? What sort of time have we got? So we do the decorations on the camel, or that I think we'll do the tents next. I quite like the idea of doing those. Now, colours for these, it's quite tricky in a way. I always think they should be red and white, but obviously I want to colour it. I don't want to just leave it white. So I'm going to have a look. I'm going to do pure red for my red. It's just a really neutral red in that it's not too pink and not too orange, you know, just somewhere in between. There we go. So I'm going to do every other one in this colour to start with. I might do the ones at the back slightly different colours so that they stand out a little bit more, or as if say that was the same colour as that, you wouldn't necessarily see it very well. Just checking you can see. Yes, you can. I haven't put my lamp on today because the sun's coming in. It's not coming in onto the desk anymore, or only the corner. But I think it's nice and bright in here. There we go. And this one, I'm just trying to work out what's going on to the right of here. So what's that? Is that's a pillar holding up this? Maybe? So maybe we'll do the curtains in this colour. I think she's got a few of these sort of strange, not strange, well, yeah, strange sort of scaled items in the new book, which I think are rather fun. Looking forward to it. So that one's white and this one's red. I hope it works. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new book. When is it? October, isn't it? Should be good. And also next year's planner has got some of the Small Victories pictures in it, which is rather good as well. I was hoping it might have our friend the tortoise, but I don't know if it does. But there's a tortoise or a turtle in the new book. I'm not sure which, to be honest. Yeah, I like that. Now I would do this top bit the same. Now I am just blocking this in. I feel that the vibrancy is good, and so I don't really want to do too much shading in here. And that one, that one, that one, yeah. This is tricky. Same as this one, because it's not an even number. But I want the outsides to be red. I'm just going to sharpen this a tad. I feel like that boldness is nice for the sort of border, if that makes sense. We'll see what, I think there's going to have to be two red ones in the middle. But then on the top one, there's not an even number either. Maybe I'll just do the two red ones on the outside of the top one. And then we've got that sort of red border going on that I wanted. There we go. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a blue for the rest. Let me have a look. Santorini is quite... I want a mid blue rather than a really dark one. Will that work? The blue. I'm tempted to use the blue, and you know why? Because I can't choose. It's the right sort of colour. And I've got another one of these. Because I've got the Chromaflow 24 set, the blue's in there. So I've got another one of these. So I feel like, oh, I can use this freely because I know that if I use it up, I can use the other one. But of course they are available to buy open stock. Not all 150. I think only the 100 are available at the moment. I did do a little bit of research and a chart showing which colours were in which sets and which were available to buy open stock and things like that. And that chart is again available in my Ko-fi, but I can't remember it now. But apparently Derwent has said they will be releasing the other colours at some point as open stock, but I haven't heard anything about that, not that I've been looking. But sometimes you hear things on the colouring grapevine, don't you? I'm not an active member of colouring groups anymore, so I don't hear it all quite so much as I used to. I found that being in the colouring groups is taking up too much time. It was nice to see what people were doing. It was nice to support people, give them likes and comments and things like that, but it was just getting too much, so I had to stop. Right, there is our blue bit. What I'm thinking is that this flag and line I might do in the colour that I'm going to do these tents at the back. Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe we could do a deep red and a deep blue, so it's still blue and red, but a little bit darker. So I'm just having a look at my swatch chart to see, and this is the scarlet that we used for the red. I'm thinking maybe if I use a pompeian red, that's really quite a lot darker. And the same with the blue, I could use one of these darker blues, and then I think it will balance it. So I'm just going to pop that blue away and grab a darker one. I think the peacock blue will work. And then with our reds, look, pop, as I said, the was it the sangria? No, the pompeian. I think the pompeian red. I wasn't using the scarlet, I was using the pure red. Anyway, here's our pompeian red, which I'm going to use now. I'm going to firstly use it on, just looking carefully, on the flag bits here. I'm going to do all of them the same, and then these sort of stick bits, because that's what they're called. I'm going to do with the dark blue. So yeah, you can see that it is a little bit pinker, but I don't think that matters. And then what I'm going to do is, once I've done these, I will do the stripes of the ones behind, but I will try not, so that's right next to there. I'm not going to do that one red, there's lots of red near there, so I'm going to do this one red here, and this one red. It was a little bit different because last time we did red on both edges, but this edge has got a lot going on next to it, and it will be next to this bit of red, but I think it's okay. Let's just hold up my book still so I can get some on there. There we go. And this one is next to the red all the way along there, so I think I'm going to do this one. Ooh, I do need to say actually, for those of you who might have been looking for the Ivy series that I'm in the middle of, that will come back after this planner, but I always like to do the planner. That red's there, so I'm going to go that side. I always like to do the planner on the same day at the same time, so the Ivy series has just had to move aside for it basically, but it will be back. I'm going to finish the page. I'm looking forward to doing the rest of it, the whole double page actually, but it's just that I've got to pop this one in, so it will be there, it will come, just got to be patient. I haven't filmed it all yet. I'm trying to make videos in the right order. Now here we could do the reds on the outside the same as that one. Let's do that for want of a different, better idea. I just can't decide. There we go. Quite straightforward this bit, isn't it? Which I like. Some nice vibrant pencils. I'm going to do this top bit in red as well, which is great. I'm going to do this top bit in red too, so that it sort of all matches really. Yeah, I have to say that having got the Derwent drawing pencils, the Derwent Lightfast pencils and these, so I haven't got all the Derwent pencils. I don't have the Colour Soft, I have a few but not all of them, or Studio or Artists or the others. But having a few sets, I would say this is probably the most versatile set. I have to say that it depends what you're using it for. This is the peacock blue, and I'm just going to fill in all our gaps. I'm going to do these first, so I don't forget. That the Light Fast has a limited range of colour, in that because only certain pigments are light fast, they haven't been able to give all the colours, so there's no girly fuchsia pinks sort of thing, and or lilacs, what's this sort of heathery colour, but the range is quite limited. Now I'd say similar for the Derwent drawing pencils. Now those don't sharpen to a very fine point, or they do, but they don't keep their point very long because they're extremely soft and they're all earthy tones, so you don't get lots of yellows or oranges or anything like that. You get sort of lots of browny greens. Now if they are fantastic for that sort of natural look, if you want to do a sort of outdoorsy type thing, but also for backgrounds, because they're really soft, and so they're great for a background. So I've done a few backgrounds with them and really enjoyed them for that. So while the other pencils have their advantages, like the Light Fast, whereas these don't claim to be, although I'll talk about that in a minute. If you want a big range of colour, then and these are a bit cheaper as well, so not that they're cheap. Derwent are very expensive, but they're a little bit cheaper. Now for the flags and things on this one, I want to use the colour that we used before. So we use the darker reds on here, so I'm going to use the lighter reds. This is the pure red, and I'm going to use I think we'll do red flags like we did on the other one. So I'm going to use this here. Now you may notice this blue, we've got a lot of white paper showing through. I found it quite difficult to eliminate that, but if we use their blending pencil, it will eliminate it almost immediately. I'll show you in a minute. Now burnisher, blender. They sell them in a pack together. 2 burnishers, 2 blenders. What's the difference? Well, I'm just going to find my blue. The blue to do the bars in them. Now a burnisher will push pencil down into the tooth of the paper and make it really intensely vibrant. Okay, and that's great for something that you want really dark. I mean, something like a pupil of an eye. You want really dark, perhaps. You may not. It's great. The problem is that once you've used it, you can't colour. Oh, the curtain tie backs, I'm going to use this blue for. Oh, there we go. Probably wonky then. But I'm just trying to find my blender. I don't have it, I only have a burnisher. I'm going to use the Prisma blender because it works as well. I'll just sharpen it. Where all my Derwent blenders have gone. Must be next door. This is a Prisma one. And I'm just going to go along here and you'll see that it just effortlessly blends and gets rid of that white lines, pretty much all of them at a quick stroke of a blending pencil. Now I find that the Derwent blending pencil changes the colour of what I'm blending very slightly. The Prisma one doesn't, but the Prisma one can very easily, let's smudge it onto there, look, smudge the black lines of your book into your picture. You have to be careful. Right, we have this sort of thing, and these dots. Now I'm thinking, are these lights, like little yellow lights? That's what I want to do them as. So I'm looking for, I think the sunflower is probably the best yellow for this. I've got the wrong one out. Hang about. sunflower, there we go. Oh, so sunflower, and going to need to sharpen it. And what I'm also going to do is use it inside our tent, as if there's a light in there and something exciting's going on. Okay. Just fill in those little circles, and then this bit. Now, of course, if there was a light in there and something was going on, you'd be able to see the something that was going on, not just the light. But I just like the fact that it can draw your eye inside, which is nice. I'm thinking maybe we'll do this green. We've got all our primaries going on here. So I've just popped these pencils back into the case. As I say, if I keep them partly sticking out, then when I write my list of what I used, I can see, but also it helps me to see what if I want to go back and use one. I do this one even when I am just colouring for myself, because it means that if I want to use one that I've used before, I can see what it was. So I'm thinking 2 shades of mid sort of green. Looking at my swatch chart, greens up here are very greyish, and then olivey, so I want more mid green, so I'm looking more here. I don't want too turquoisey, but I'm thinking that jungle green and the grass green might be a nice combo. So I'm going to grab those if I can find them. Bear with me, I'm sorry. There's the grass green and there's the jungle green. So what I thought was I'd do the slightly lighter one inside and then the darker one around the edges as sort of frame. Oh, it's coming a little closer, sorry, I didn't realise how far away we were. So here is our grass green. And I've got to try and carefully go around those little circles. Now, if you accidentally colour over them, or your yellow just isn't showing up enough, then grab a yellow gel pen or Posca pen, even a little dab of yellow paint or white. You could outline them in white. What I haven't done actually with these Chromaflow is put a dab of white pen on to see whether they bleed into a white pen. This is the jungle green that I'm going to use for the outside, so that's something that I may do. Oh, it's so hot in here. I'm going to have to go and get a fan, I think. I might have to... We've done half an hour, haven't we? So what I might do is finish it here and then go and get my fan, cool down a bit, and come back to you tomorrow with the rest. So I'm just going to do these pillars. I think what that does is it stands out, which I think is rather good, because you know you want to draw people in to your circus. Now I'm thinking these flags, I quite like to do them in these greens, so I'm going to just do those before I finish. I'm just going to do a dark one. The top one is dark and the bottom one's slightly lighter, but that and that in the dark. And then the grass green for the bits there, and then the bits down here. There we go. Okay, so that will be us for today. Just show you what we've done. Have a little look. Our camel looks quite pale. I think he's okay. Once I've done, I think the blankets and things should be brighter than him, but we'll have a think tomorrow when it's all done and decide. I might think he needs to be a little bit darker, more vibrant, more yellowy. Not really sure, but I think he's okay. Anyway, thank you for watching today. Please tune in tomorrow for the second part, but for now, thank you, have a super day and happy colouring.